Wow. End of November 2018. There was a huge bullish sentiment a couple months ago over the summer. We were headed toward 100 apparently. There was a talk of shortages and sanctions against Iran. We have done a complete 180 in such a short amount of time with record plunges in the price of oil, 30+% in a couple of weeks, major intraday downturns of 5, 6, 7, 8% in the price of the commodity. Just incredible turn of events here as the sanctions were eased up by Trump. Trump's tweets, for some reason, are lowering the price, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And the record production talks out of the Permian U.S. domestic oil production is back online, and records are being shattered, and more to come next year. It went from a shortage to a glut like that, and that's what my point is: how ridiculous this whole oil thing is, and how overshot it gets, and how it overreacts. Prices overreact based on emotion. I mean, the sentiment was so bullish as we were into the 70s, and next thing you know, people are saying, "Oh, it's going down to the 40s," and it plunged. We're at 52 today. So where are we going with this $10 spread with Brent because of the massive oil production occurring in the domestic United States? Probably it's not going to shoot up in a short amount of time. You're not going to see a V-shaped spike back in the price of oil. You'll see a bottom get put in. I think maybe it'll hit mid to high 40s, but I could very well be low 50s as the bottom. I'm standing by what I said before. I don't think we're going to see a plunge into the 30s or the 20s ever again, ever again. I think this is going to be the higher low as it's forming now for the long-term all-time oil price chart. There's a good chance that there's still bearish sentiment based on this raging oil production and this OPEC, which people feel have less power now. But don't expect it to stay down in the low 50s for more than a couple months. I think by next year, 2019, we're going to see it back in the 60s, 70s, possibly 80s. And then the following year, 2020, is probably when we're going to see the $100 level broken. Oil equities is what I've been playing. The super majors, Exxon, Chevron, Royal Dutch Shell, BP. Very attractive. I recommend, if you have any money, to put it into these companies. Sit back and have the 4 to 6% dividend get reinvested into the equities. If you have a short-term investment outlook, it might not be the best bet, but if you're in it for the long term, it's going to be a solid bet. There's going to be a time when we look back on these videos and talking about the price of oil at $50 a barrel, and these companies trading at $40 to $100 a share is going to be unheard of. Everything's going to be multiplied by several times. So be patient. This oil thing, it's a big game. It's a game of emotion. Truth of the matter is, we're pumping out $100 million barrels so a day, or using it, and eventually things are going to fall short on the supply side. And there's going to be people taking out of reserve production. There's going to be extra companies coming back online, but it's not going to be enough as the just incredible demand for oil steadies and increases steadily over the next 10, 20 years. This is an incredible number we're dealing with on the demand side. Even if it slows, it's still incredible numbers that we're dealing with. So it's just, we're on a train that's headed straight into a wall, and it's just crazy how people could stay bearish on this trade. It doesn't matter about the electric cars, the renewables. They are just a drop in the bucket for the big picture here. So stay patient, focus on the big picture, be in it for the long term, pick at oil majors, look at maybe USO if you can afford futures contracts, start grabbing them. Oil's going up, $300 a barrel by 2030. We'll be watching these videos in years to come and saying, damn, I should have done that. Good luck.